and we actually drove to Standing Rock. I think this was right before Donald Trump's election that we drove up there. It was an 18-hour drive. And about maybe 2 hours before we got to the reservation, we saw somebody pulled over. And for some reason, I just had this like feeling like I need to like pull over and see what's up. And they actually had a bunch of canoes with them. It turned out to be like the Indigenous Red Cross that was headed to Standing Rock. And they were afraid to sort of go up there because the police were pulling people over with canoes because they were saying, oh, this is an intent to commit a crime. And so we actually were able to follow them to Standing Rock and sort of be there as like, as protection. I'm not sure what we could have done, but, you know, sort of just like bearing witness. And it really was sort of my first like understanding of like the gravity of both the situation. And I think like you often, when you're doing things, you don't really think about like the historical aspect of this, like, oh, this is history happening. But just realizing just like the resilience and fortitude of like, of these people really just coming together because these were like their needs that were being threatened, was such a beautiful showing both of solidarity but also like resistance, and it really just cemented for me how like no matter how much I participated willingly in like elections, that ultimately like this was where power came from, was from direct action. And so being able to sort of like get DSA involved in those efforts and really building relationships and being led by Indigenous people who often like weren't necessarily like organizers in the traditional sense, but often already had the like instincts and obviously knew, you know, what things they needed. And so it was really just beautiful to sort of be able to buttress those efforts and really just like, you know, provide some guidance, but mostly like provide support by getting people out there.